What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on a recent episode of Colin Cowherd's show where he made some statements about comparing Larry Bird to Luka Doncic, right? And when you, I think it's a stretch to try to compare Larry Bird, Luka Doncic to Larry Bird, because they're not even on the same level. Now, even if even in a half court sense, right? Larry Bird probably was a better defender than what people gave him credit for. A really good team defender, and on ball defender, he was okay. He wasn't all that good, right? But a team defender, Larry Bird was a really good team defender, right? And rebound and stuff like that. But let's just take it from the offensive standpoint, like Colin Cowherd, and I'm gonna play the audio. He tried to say that Luka was a better offensive player than Larry Bird. Not true, right? Larry Bird, number one, was not ball dominant. Larry Bird didn't hold a ball or for like 18, 20 seconds and then expect you to get the ball and do something unless you had a layup. You was cutting to the basket and he just so happened to had a ball, and he could hit you for a layup or something like that, or cut to the basket. But you can't compare to Larry Bird made his teammates better. And it wasn't by default, right? So, like, if Luka's holding the ball and he's drawing a double team, of course, somebody else is open. Larry Bird was the kind of offensive player that like used to set people up. Like, so he would make moves strategically to get people open, not Luka just so happened to just so happened he'll get you open. And it's just two different things. Like Larry Bird could set you up and put you in a position where you could be you would be have an advantage. Luka is not like that. And Colin Cowherd, you know, I don't get it, man. I don't, you can't compare the two. Colin Cowherd just got acting like Luka is the best thing since sliced bread. Um, if Luka was as great as he said, then Luka would have championships. You would have people would be like, oh, definitely, I want to play with Luka. Luka is not gonna say like for the Joker. The Joker makes people better because the Joker is always looking to pass. The Joker don't constantly pound the ball for 18 to 20, 22 seconds, on the clock. He don't do that, and so, but Luka is not that, like that. But what I want to do is I want to play the audio from Colin Cowherd and I want to react to it. Because I just think that Colin Cowherd is just putting a spin on here that's not really accurate.
The league is the Joker. It is not debatable. Second thing, the best pure score, skinny Luka. Luka, first 3 years, skinny, and Luka now, you can't stop him. I mean, he's 6'7.5", long, all knees and elbows. He gets whatever he wants, whenever he wants. He's as good a shooter as Larry Bird, but quicker. There's just no weakness. He's actually, when he wants to be a good passer, but he shouldn't pass much because he's that good. He's just...
All right, so now he says that he shouldn't pass much because, again, if Luka wants to be, basketball is a team sport, and so for Colin Cowherd to say that Luka shouldn't pass much because he's that good, Luka, and I'm not a Luka fan. I'm not really a Laker fan, so I hope that the longer Luka holds on to the ball, he's doing his opponent a favor. It's just like you. That's just like when you pull a center, somebody like 7 feet tall, you got them shooting jumpers. You're doing a favor for for the opponent because you're limiting. Number one, you're limiting what they have to do, to defend you. It's not a whole lot of. You're not making your them work or anything. You're not making the defense work. Your teammates are just standing around watching you because they know that all you're going to do is dribble the ball for 18 seconds or 20 seconds out the shot clock. Larry Bird never did that. Larry Bird, like he kept the ball moving and he made the defense work. And Luka, man, Luka not gonna win no rings playing that style of basketball. I don't care if it's skinny Luka or or fat Luka. If he fat Luka and he can back you down into the paint, if it take him 18 seconds to get down there, that's a win for the defense. Because he's not going to hit all his shots. You get the rebound and you go up the other end of the court. Luka not playing no defense once he get up there. His defense is terrible. It's just not even team defense. At least with Larry Bird, he played team defense, and he was a great rebounder. But somebody who didn't he didn't get that high off the floor. Larry Bird was a very good rebounder. He always had position. Luka not interested in getting position defensive, on the defensive end or the offensive end when it comes to rebounding, right? And I just, like I said, to compare Larry Bird and Luka, to me, is just not. Luka is not going to win no championships like this. He's not going to be. And the way they talk about Luka is like he's a dominant player, right? And you would expect a dominant player to be able to build a dynasty, right? Or be a part of a dynasty. And that's the thing about today's basketball players. Like these guys will win one ring, and you try to talk about them like they are in the same class with Larry Bird. Like they're in the same class with Magic Johnson, and it's not like that. Like they're not in the same class with Tim Duncan. I think Tim Duncan might have 5 rings. Tim Duncan got 5 rings. Larry Bird, 3 rings. Magic Johnson, 5 rings. And in order for you to win multiple rings at that level, you got to play team basketball. Even if you, as great as Larry Bird was, you still had to play team basketball. You can't be telling people that Luka is he should shoot most of the time. Larry Bird had Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale on his team, and he took advantage of that. He had weapons and he used them. Luka trying to do it all by himself, Luka playing hero ball, is not going to work. He's not going to be a part of a dynasty. He might win a championship, and I don't even know if Luka going to win a championship. Not the way coming out of the West, number one. Then the way OKC is playing is just crazy. Then you got Houston. They got a really good team over in Houston with Şengün. I like Şengün, Amin Thomas. And then you got the veteran Kevin Durant. Man, I don't know, man. And Kevin Durant is a better defender. So Kevin Durant is just as effective on offense as Luka, and he's a better defender. So if the Lakers was to run into them, they have a hard time. And I think, man, people should stop this era of basketball. Once you get past once Kobe retired, I think he retired in 2016. But I'll go back even further because Kobe's last couple years, he really wasn't Kobe. The LeBron James era of basketball, where you have Steph, LeBron, Kevin Durant, and I'm gonna put Luka in there. Luka, what's the other guy? The Joker. Those guys, man, they like only one out of those guys who you can even say had a dynasty was Steph Curry. Steph Curry won 4 rings. I think I'm not sure how many years it took him to get it. Like 4 rings in like 6 years or something like that. But there's no dynasty. These guys, you can't compare them to a Larry Bird or something like that. When Luka been in the league for a while, the Joker's been in the league for a while, but you can't compare him to no Larry Bird, man. Larry Bird just knew how to play the game. He knew how to make his teammates better. These guys right here win 1 ring. That's just like comparing Joe Flacco to Tom Brady. Joe Flacco got 1 Super Bowl ring. Tom Brady sitting on 7. You know, you talking about one guy had a great year, a great playoff run. One guy had a great career. It's just, it's just not the same thing, man. You can't compare this guy to Larry Bird. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's my take on it. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.